What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. Today we are reviewing this New England IPA by 10-4 Brewing, which is for, you might have guessed it, it's for Aldi. So this brew is specially produced for Aldi stores in the UK. So it's not got a particular name like some of the other beers you guys have seen me review. It's just called New England IPA. So as with that, we'll take that it's a New England IPA. So with regards to this one, sorry, it's kind of leaking metal stuff on my hands. But moving on, we'll try not to let that impact the review. But it says on the front here it's a full juicy IPA with tropical fruit flavours, 4.5% ABV, so not too strong. I might have expected a New England IPA to be a little bit stronger, but I think with their craft beer range, I don't think Aldi are sort of trying to make their beers too strong. Even with the double IPA, that was in 6% rather than the kind of slightly more common, at least with the beers that I've reviewed, 8%. So yeah, I think they're just trying not to make them too strong. It's got a funny front sort of I always say front cover. I don't mean that, but funny can artwork. So it's got this pink background and then this kind of lobster with I suppose it's got the rendition of the American flag on its claws, I guess coming from the New England side, and I presume New England something to do with seafood, or crabs and fishing and that kind of thing. I think New England and the kind of northern northeast states are to kind of linked a bit more with seafood. I don't really know a lot, so maybe you guys can tell me more. But in terms of flavours we're looking for, it does say at least what flavours we're looking for. Obviously no hop information as covered in previous videos. But it says big, juicy, tropical fruit flavours of mango and pineapple with a soft mouthfeel and low bitterness. So hopefully that's what we get. If it's nice, fruity and tropical with little bitterness, it should get a good rating. We're not, as I said before, we're not looking at a huge percent, so it's a 440ml can, 4.5%, so we are looking at 2 UK units, so not a huge amount. Hopefully in that sense then it will be a little bit more sort of smashable, you know, enjoyable, drinkable, downable, however you want to say it. I think it's worth just cracking into this one, having a look at the colour, having a look at the head, and then eventually we'll get into a sip and start the rating process. Right, let's see how it smells. Quite mild. I can get a little bit of tropical smell on there. It might come out a bit more as I sort of pour the beer. Okay, quite floral on the nose. Very light colour. Obviously darker on camera, but very light. And quite bubbly. Pretty easy to see through, I'd say. So quite thin. I was expecting it not to be so bubbly, I'm not sure why. It's kind of more like a lager. In fact, it looks a lot like an ordinary lager. New England IPAs are kind of expected to be a bit more, perhaps not a different colour, but definitely a bit more hazy. It doesn't look that way. It looks more like an ordinary. It doesn't even look like a pale ale. It just looks like a lager to me. Actually, I shouldn't pour too much out. Really, I should let that head go down because obviously don't drink that much that it needs to really be topped up. All right, see if we get a bit more in the smell wise. Very nice, clean white head. No colour carry through from the body of the beer at all. Yeah, not a huge amount of smell really. There's a tiny bit of sort of fruitiness. I'm almost getting like a strawberry smell, which is odd because it says we want mango and pineapple. So not really the smells I was expecting. Yeah, a bit odd. Not really strawberry. Strawberry doesn't even smell like pineapple or mango particularly, but there we go. I think it's worth just getting into trying this one and giving it a sip now, rather than waiting for the head to go down, because it'll go down naturally anyway. So let's give it a go. It's okay, like it's got It's definitely got a little bit of tropical flavour, like a nice hint. In terms of mouthfeel, it's not really giving me like a creamy coating mouthfeel, but it's kind of sitting all right, sitting quite nicely in my mouth. I wouldn't say the mouthfeel was particularly bad, but like I said, with such a kind of bubbly, you guys can't see it on camera or anything, but with such a kind of bubbly body of the beer, I'm not expecting a creamy mouthfeel, and I'm not getting a creamy mouthfeel, but I'm kind of expecting it to be a little bit more fizzy in my mouth than it was. So that was kind of like a pleasant surprise, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's got a particular mouthfeel per se. Definitely would agree that it's low bitterness, but then it's also kind of, it sounds a bit mean, but low everything else. It's a little bit fruity, a little bit tropical, but not really that much. It's kind of like they've kind of dialed it to like a 5 and then quit, you know? Whereas if you add the extra 5, you dial it to a 10, you're going to get a really good craft beer. And that's kind of seems like a running theme I'm getting with these beers. The more and more that I review in the craft section that are brewed for nationwide stores, you know, you're kind of getting everything that does make a beer, but you're not getting like the heart and soul and the effort put into it. Probably because they have to be competitive and they have to make sure that the beers are cheap, and unfortunately you kind of cut something somewhere and it becomes quality in most cases. I'll give it a few more sips before I actually do rate it out of 5. Like I said, it's not the most unpleasant one that I've reviewed by far, I would say, so I don't think it's going to get the most abysmal rating. But then it's absolutely not memorable whatsoever. I wouldn't buy this again, and I think really that's where I try to kind of benchmark when I rate the beers, is would I buy this again? When I go to the store and think, there's that cheap but delicious craft beer, and I haven't quite found it yet. But let's give it a few more sips, give it the benefit of the doubt. Head's gone right down now, and yeah, see what we give it out of 5. It's you know, it's nice and floral tropical on the tongue, but just not like, it's not making my whole mouth tingle with my taste buds firing off at all, which is a shame. I would have liked it to have a bit more kind of flavour, a bit more heart and soul really, because no matter what happens, if you up the flavour, as long as the flavour is good, it's going to be enjoyable, and this flavour is good. And if it was just like a bit more of a punch, it would be getting a higher mark. But yeah, I'm not completely dissatisfied with this beer, I'm not completely unhappy with it. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 2.75. I think it is worth over the half mark, but only a little bit, because it's giving me a nice general flavour. It's not really indicative of a New England IPA in other senses. It's nice and fruity, but it's not hazy, you know, and I really associate New England IPA with this hazy and creamy mouthfeel, and it's not giving me that. So 2.75 I think is actually quite a fair review. In fact, I'm sure other people would probably rate it lower, but I'm sure other people would rate it higher too. Please don't tip over. Oh, fine. I'm sure other people would rate it higher as well. As always, guys, it's a review, so it's just a matter of my opinion anyway. If you guys have tried this one, let me know what you think. I feel like it is fairly easy to come by, these ones. But let me know. I don't shop in any other Aldi than my own local one, so I don't know that for certain. But yeah, if you guys have tried this one, let me know what you thought. Did it live up to the classic, what you expect from a New England IPA, or did it not? If you guys enjoyed this review, let me know. Give me a like, comment, subscribe. I love interacting with you guys. Subscribe if you do want to see more. I have a review coming out every single, what days are these ones on? Tuesdays, these ones. But I have my ordinary craft beer reviews always on a Friday as well. So yeah, like I say, hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace.